I'm gonna start getting a little anxious. We left the base about 8 o'clock in the morning on February 10th, and we got probably a mile outside the base, and we were engaged with an IED or roadside bomb right in front of our vehicle, probably 15 yards in front of a vehicle. Blew out our tires, cracked our windshield. It was what's considered a mobility kill. We pulled up and designated 300 to 400 yards, but when we got out, they were ready for us, and they had a secondary device waiting on the side of the road, and they detonated that device and injured me, a couple other Marines. It severed our interpreter's arm at the shoulder, and we got into a pretty significant firefight after that. But thank goodness we were really close to the base, and we didn't even have to call for QRF, what's called a quick reaction force, because the base actually saw what happened because they were in such close proximity. And they came and got us out, and but thankfully we all made it out alive. And I'm here today with two of the guys that were in that same attack.
Let's go skiing.
My name's Elizabeth Jopp. I am the Executive Director of Wasatch Adaptive Sports. What I think is really special about the work that we do in the adaptive sports industry is that we take normal, everyday passions and make them available to people to experience in an environment that they can thrive in, that they can learn and share the experience with others who've maybe gone through the same trials and tribulations. And we do it in a way that it's always under the guise of fun and just being outside, and that's healing by nature, is just getting out in the mountains and amongst the trees, and that's a win if we just do that. And then if we can tack on a little bit of here's how you can progress, here's what's possible for you, that's I think what makes us unique, is that we just sort of take the learning and the possibilities out of the clinical setting and bring them into the outdoors, which enables people to experience with their friends and families and gain that sense of normalcy that maybe has been lost previously.
My life is completely different. It's changed. Ever since I was introduced to skiing and recreational therapy through these nonprofits, my life's completely changed. And once my life changed, I immediately started thinking about my brothers. We shed blood over on a road over in Iraq, but now we're back 16 years later, and we're here in the Wasatch Mountains, and one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in the world. So it's really impactful to be here to share this kind of experience with my brothers that I actually trained, deployed, and got injured with, and came back home, and now we're still best of friends because we see each other every year and get to reunite back on snow. But getting out of the Marine Corps, it is an abrupt stop. Unless you stay in contact with your brothers from the Marine Corps, or if you have a good support structure with your family, then it might be okay. But when I got out of the Marine Corps, it was lights off.
For a while, I didn't talk to anyone back home, not even my parents. And really my support system was like the guys that I served with in Gulf Battery. I didn't really want to talk to it about my friends and family. I remember being at a bar back home and I couldn't find my rifle, and I almost had a panic attack, because you always have to have it on you. And I was looking around the bar, and then finally it was just not even, I'm home. I'm back home in Pennsylvania.
When I first got out, I didn't want you guys to know what I went through. I didn't want anybody to know whether I was suffering or not. And that made everything worse. But then as I try to open up to certain people, and the questions come, and then you're trying to explain it, and then they're more or less criticizing some of the decisions that we had to make. And it's well, you weren't there. You weren't being shot at. You weren't driving down the road waiting for the manhole to blow up or the dead dog on the side of the road to explode. You know, I don't know, it's different. When I first got called for this retreat, I was just going down the rabbit hole every day and getting lost further and further into whatever hell I was putting myself through. And Craig calls me out of the blue and he tells me about it. And I mean, at that point in time, I sure as hell can't afford to come out here and do something like this. And when he told me that they take care of everything through donations, I mean, that opens up a lot of opportunities for people. Just John Klanowski, the guy that brings us all out here, he's an amazing guy. I mean, I owe a lot of my happiness that I have now to him.
I happened to call Challenge Aspen one day and said, do you guys need any help? And they said, sure, come on out. And the very first volunteer opportunity that I had with Challenge Aspen was with the camo program. There was a group of disabled veterans coming that were here from Walter Reed. And one of the gentlemen that they put me out on the hill with was a recent double above the knee amputee. And it was 9 months post amputation, which is fairly early, but he was in bad shape mentally. He was in a dark place. So the guys at Walter Reed thought this would be a really good opportunity for him. And so sure enough, we put him in a monoski, and over the course of 3 days, it was amazing for me to be able to see the change in this guy's attitude. He was dark and angry the first couple of days, but by the third day, he was a totally different guy. He was bright. Yeah, it was a great experience.
These 5 days we're out here, it's probably the one time a year where I feel all my stress go away.
Slow down, mama, why you talk so mean? Good Lord, Nashville, it ain't what it seems.
It's a fantastic program. I love just coming out here with the guys, seeing the guys. As a matter of fact, the guys that are here with us this time, I want to say that only 3 of these guys have been in the past. So it's a great thing that we get to bring in additional guys and see fresh faces and remember those guys as well.
And it's just good to be around like the guys that you put your life on the line, knowing that they put their life on the line for you as well. It's this crazy bond that we have. You got this bond, and you'll till the day you die, you'll have each other's backs.
So when you go back to civilian life, you can't just go and talk to your boss or some coworker about getting into a firefight overseas or something like that.
One of the biggest things for me is just other veterans. No disrespect to the regular public, but I can sit there and I can talk to one of these guys and I'm more apt to open up to them and talk to them, or I feel like that they're more able to relate to something that I'm going through.
Trust is a big thing, I think, for everybody. But I think my experience with veterans, trust is it's hard to trust people that you don't know, and it's a lot of veterans who they may have heard of our program or other programs that are offering similar opportunities, but if the veteran doesn't know who I am, doesn't know who our organization is or any of the other organizations, that trust issue is sometimes a little bit more difficult to overcome. So my advice is give it a shot. All the organizations, community-based organizations like ours that are doing similar things, I think everybody's in it for the right reason.
I knew nothing about this program before I came out here, and basically they bring us out here and they paid for our flights, which wowed me. I'm like, wow, somebody's paying for me to come out, and then I find out that You know, they're setting us up with ski rentals. They put us up in the hotel. They pay for dinner a couple nights a week. And then they take us out on the mountain with instructors that probably could be making money, but are spending their time with us, teaching us how to ski. And it's not like we have to get from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain in a certain amount of time. It's, no, we'll go at your pace, because they understand that a lot of us have injuries, back injuries, knee injuries. They have ski bikes for guys that can't stay up on snowboards long enough or skis long enough, and it's not like they have us, it's not like it's completely regimented. It's all at your speed, what you're comfortable with. But at the same time, I've been skiing for 4 years. First year I tried snowboarding, and last year I started doing black diamonds. I only ski four days out of the year. So it's an amazing program. It's just they take care of everything. There's no stress coming out here. They get you doing things that you probably wouldn't be doing back home. And not only that, but they have you out here with veterans doing it as well. I'm lucky enough I get to go out there with the guys I was in with, but they'll put you on a retreat with other veterans, and at least you're there with other veterans who have an understanding of what you went through. And it's therapeutic.
I think some people decide that physical activity and outdoor activity is not going to be part of their routine, and it's got to be. You know, mental health revolves around physical and mental wellness activities, and so getting outside is incredibly important. So to be able to offer the opportunity for somebody to find a sport that they get excited about and feel like they want to pursue, and something that transfers to, you know, being able to take that sport back home. You know, a lot of times what we have happen here with skiing and snowboarding is people come from the Southeast, or people come from areas that don't offer this opportunity. But the takeaway a lot of times is, holy cow, I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. And, you know, I went from a beginner to an intermediate skier or snowboarder in 4 days, and maybe I can find an activity at home that I could do the same thing. And it offers an opportunity to be outside and, you know, get people excited about being active again.
I tried skiing and was like no good, you know, like let's try my luck on snowboarding, and it just connected with me, and like it just brought me like this certain happiness. Like I fell in love with it.
Being on snow and in variable condition, you learn a lot about what your potential is and how you can really exceed what you thought was possible. What I would say to any veteran who's considering being active is come try it. It's non-committal. You can, as I said, you can come take a look at a bike, you can come pedal it for 2 minutes, you can come ski, you know, 1 lap and just try it out. You know, for us, it's really about exposing you to what's possible and what your goal, helping you achieve your goals. And so I just encourage you to stay open and give us a call.